It's hard to go past Paul Keating's words on the AUKUS scam this week when interviewed by Sarah Ferguson on the ABC's 7:30 report. Paul Keating said, "We don't need to be a pair of shoes hanging out of the US backside." It's always good to see Paul out and about, but even the AUKUS Pact and the news of the New Deal, a new secret political measure, well, a bunch of measures to which Australia is apparently committed already, foreshadowed by an embarrassing leak from the White House, a press release. The Australian people weren't told about it, but a press release on Thursday from the White House foreshadowed some changes. An AUKUS 2.0 deal. New commitments by Australia, hitherto unknown. Even the worst deal in all of human history, as Paul Keating described it once, has competition this week. Because terror is back. Yes, it's terror everywhere. A new threat alert level. Rupert loves it. ASIO adores it. We also have Rupert putting Foxtel up for sale and the scoop on one of the bidders for this, how would we describe it, unique asset. We have Kim Williams at the ABC and his novel directive regarding the journalism at the national broadcaster. That's the journalism that our $1.2 billion be spent on, that more of this resourcing be spent on journalism than stories about the 9 best ways to dump your boyfriend. We have Nine Entertainment. They don't call it Nine Entertainment for nothing. We have Linda Reynolds. Good old Linda. The Bruce Lehrman of Ben Roberts-Smith's, as somebody described her on Twitter. Yes, her landmark defamation case against Brittany Higgins. As if Brittany Higgins hasn't been through enough already. We have the government going full post-neoliberal by forcing people to sign NDAs if they are not a gambling company, but if they are a civil society group seeking to contribute to the discussions around the impending backflip on gambling ads being pushed by the media and Sportsbet. Big political donors, money yet again winning out in politics over people. Now, we won't dwell on the Linda Reynolds defamation saga. Suffice to say that this is a spectacular show, a spectacular waste of public funds, of court time, over a few tweets and a few hurty feelings. And it is shaping up to be a reprise of the Ben Roberts-Smith and Bruce Lehrman cases, both of whom sued for defamation and lost their cases, defaming themselves even more badly in the process. So even if Linda does jag a win in this case, and these things happen, why are Australia's defamation laws allowing plaintiffs to defame themselves so badly? They need to be junked. But it's an industry, the defamation lawyers industry. It's a big party, swimming pools and holiday houses. So Linda this week let it be nationally known in her court testimony that she had been leaking confidential government documents to the media, that she was upset about Brittany dressing like Kate Middleton, that AG, the Attorney General Mark Dreyfus, was out to get her, and there was a conspiracy too because Brittany had set up a fundraising page to defend herself against Linda's lawsuit. And that was apparently now defamatory as well. It had become part of the case. There's a few more thousand in lawyers' fees for a day there on a red herring. Call me old-fashioned, but does the judge have it in his power to beckon Linda to approach the bench? Ms. Reynolds, please approach the bench, and then quietly whisper in her ear, Linda, go home. There has been a very exciting development also in the news this week, as Rupert has put News Corp's Foxtel up for sale. Foxtel owns this magnificent asset, Sky News After Dark. Sky After Dark, or SAD, as it could be acronymed. This is a media property of unparalleled integrity and journalistic depth, and it is our pleasure to share here with listeners today that Michael West Media has filed an intention to make a takeover offer for Foxtel. We have announced a conditional one-for-one script takeover bid for News Corp's Foxtel Group, subject to large break fee arrangements, and we believe the offer of our securitized transcumulative fungible units, or STFUs, as they are acronymed, STFUs, is fair and reasonable. Generous, in fact. We do understand that audiences will be historically high for SAD at the moment, as Albo has just elevated the terror alert level. But we feel we can add value to this asset in our restructuring, which will involve keeping Fox Sports, of course, transferring the Sky News media personality to the Food and Services division, as well as the Building Management divisions, selling anything that hasn't already been sold and leased back, and leasing the plant and equipment, the ABC, on the proviso they use their new assets for the purpose of journalism, as is the desire of the new chairman, Kim Williams. As new chairman, Kim Williams proposed for the ABC this week, no more stories about the likes of, is my pet goldfish at risk of long COVID? No, serious news in the public interest. Very old-fashioned of Kim. Albo's new terror alert, meanwhile, is excellent for ASIO and the security establishment, this large, highly funded, overfunded, ballooning establishment creeps around in secret, not doing a lot, which has managed to increase its funding over the past 10 years, Bernard Keane points out, by $100 million in real terms, during which time the threat of actual terror subsided. More funding, less terror. That's why they had to get this terror alert up. Creating work for yourself is a growth business, but Albo's new elevated terror alert is politically savvy as well. For it manages to even out-terror scare Peter Terror Scare Dutton himself, as well as lay the blame for social unrest, lack of social cohesion at the feet of Gaza peace protesters and Palestinian refugees. They didn't quite say that, they didn't quite have to, because they had Sky After Dark to do it for them. Elsewhere, in media land, we saw news that Nine Entertainment, this is the mob that Peter Costello used to be chairman of before he bashed that bloke, pushed him, or made him fall over accidentally. And they don't call it entertainment for nothing. He was going, here they were. It wasn't announced, but it was leaked to one of the journalists that they were going to can their share buyback. Yeah, they were going to stop buying their own shares. A share buyback is literally where companies spend millions of dollars of shareholders' money buying shares in their own company to make them go higher. If they go higher, often the executives benefit because they are on incentive bonuses based on the share price or EPS. Except with Nine prefer counterintuitive approach of spending a lot of other people's money buying their own shares in order to make them go down. They spent $220 million and watched their share price decline from $2.24 to $1.35. Money well spent. Why spend it on things like journalism when you could spend it buying your own shares to make them go up? The collective sigh of relief. The sigh of relief billowing out across the land from Nine shareholders was so strong it was believed to have affected weather patterns on the eastern seaboard. In other news, Peter Dutton has finally announced his nuclear energy costings. Okay, we're just kidding. He has announced that he will announce them, however, some 100 days ago. But it is AUKUS, indubitably, our pact, our alliance with the UK and the US, with the old world, this historic deal where we give them $368 billion to spend on jobs and growth in the US and UK to revive their foundering shipyards in return for our commitment to allow them to put military bases across Australia, to drag us into war with our major trading partner China and dispose of, yes, this is a true story, Rex Patrick broke it, to dispose of their nuclear waste for them. What a deal. We can't wait to see the next increment in true Demtel development fashion late this week. It was revealed not by Australia, but by the White House press release that Australia had made, quote, revised political commitments to the US, which were yet to be put in the public domain. But how could Albo possibly, how could Penny and Richard even hope to improve on ScoMo's majestic AUKUS deal? They have enhanced it. They've made it worse than the worst deal in history. But what is going to befall us next? Is it 51st state of the US? Is it dressing up in frilly French maid's outfit to attend functions at the White House? Now, we know from bitter experience that AUKUS 1.0 is so horrific it will be difficult to surpass as a scam. Nonetheless, we award the prestigious Scam of the Week to the secret, as yet to be disclosed, AUKUS 2.0. Oh, with what bated breath we wait. Thank you for your support. Please like, share, comment in the space below. Throw us a few bucks on Patreon if you can afford it.